advising a customer who is planning to move to Employee Central Payroll, what's the biggest piece of advice you would give them? And I'm going to start with Mike, and then we'll go to Judy and then Imran.
Only one, huh?
No, multiples are okay.
Okay. I would have to say the big one is making sure that you have documented your current processes. It will make that much easier. It also makes it much easier for the consultants you'll be working with, your partners, to look at your current process and figure out how that's going to work in the ECP system. That'd probably be the biggest one. The second one is when you're going through the SOWs, make sure that there's plenty of time allotted for payroll. It seems to be an area that the SI is kind of short the number of hours allocated to it a lot of times.
Very good. Judy?
A couple things I would like to comment on. I also agree with understanding your current process, but also having a open mind as to not getting so set on the way you used to do it. Because you're not going to get advantages if you just take a really kind of bad system and try to shove it into this engine. It's not going to be pleasant. So we had a few glitches in ours where we just put some bad ideas in there, and it's not what you should do. You have to keep an open mind and stick with the standard. People always want to think they're so special. You're not. You're vanilla. Just do it the way the system's designed, and you'll have a larger level of success. I would also say, also bad data in, bad data out, good data in, good data out. So, we still have a few glitches in our area where we're trying to recover from. We put some kind of half data in there and you can't change it on some things. So from that perspective, just make sure your data is clean and you spend enough time with a quality product putting that in. So, I mean, SAP has this down pat. So follow the path, put it in, follow the rules, and also make sure you have a great implementation partner to help you through it. So those are some of the things that I would stress.
Great. Imran, your chance to give advice.
Yeah. I'm going to have to adjust my answer because Mike and Judy kind of covered it, but
sorry.
No.
The bad part about going last.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll reemphasize some of the stuff. But, I guess the one thing I will say, if you can fit it into your timeline, make sure to include implementing Payroll Control Center in the scope of your project, and then do it the right way. And so this means getting someone like Mike with the proper experience to guide you through it, because it's not just about the technology. The technology is one piece of that. It's really about redoing business processes. And this is kind of re-emphasizing some of Judy's points, plus the comments she made earlier, which I think they did a great job of. And this is revisiting business processes which have been in place for 20 plus years in some cases. And the reality is that makes people uncomfortable, rightfully so, especially when payroll is on the line. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a big fan of modern technology, and PCC being one of those. And so while it might not have to be a phase one, ideally try to make it part of a phase one and give your payroll team a modern tool that significantly helps them and does things differently, right? And so even to Judy's point, like going from where you have to enter things to letting your employees own the data, doing that type of things. And from a PCC standpoint, I've seen some really good and successful implementations and some not so great ones. So don't overcomplicate it and try to include audit checks or validations for things that you really don't need someone working on. The last thing you really want to do is run PCC and see 10,000 alerts, because then you're taking away the value of that. What you really want to do is take the things that you really need a person to look at and evaluate, and build that into the PCC framework. So it gives you a way where the system is identifying things, and you're getting out of the process of just running reports for running reports and have a list of your entire employee population in Excel, or to Judy's point of you have printed out documents with people's names and bank accounts and that type of stuff, to more of a systematic way of doing things that also is really good for working remotely and those type of things, right? And so take a look at those type of things to get the business value that comes with that, if at all possible.